Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Amanda and it is Sunday. Matt's at work. The race is on at 3. It's 12 right now, so I have a couple hours to spare. I just went to the food store. I'll show you the haul for Sam's Club and Commissary in a different video. But I figured since Matt's at work and I have all day, I'm going to make a crock pot meal, which is one of Matt's absolute favorites, which is ground beef stroganoff. I'm going to make a big giant batch of it and freeze some of it. And then for dinner tonight, I'm going to try one of those Facebook Buzz Tasty, whatever the heck it's called. One of those meals, the garlic bread lasagna. It looks really, really good, so I'm going to try that for dinner tonight. And we will probably have the stroganoff for dinner tomorrow night. So here's the recipe. Here's the recipe for the ground beef stroganoff for the amount of beef that I have. I converted it. I have 4 pounds of beef. You use 4 onions, 4 garlic cloves. Both of those you're gonna, cut up. 3 teaspoons of salt, half a teaspoon of pepper, 2 cups of beef broth, and 6 tablespoons of tomato paste. You brown up the beef and then saute the onions and garlic together, and then you put all of this in the crock pot for 6 to 8 hours on low, 3 to 4 hours on high. And then after all that's done, you put in 4 tablespoons of flour and 1.5 cups of sour cream. I think you mix those two together, and then you put it in the crock pot with the rest of the stuff. And you're supposed to cook it for an hour. I only put it in for the amount of time that it takes to boil up the pasta. What? Why do I need more frappuccinos? Because they're yummy. Do you like frappuccinos? No. Why are you sitting on my frappuccinos?
Because I have to.
Why do you have to?
Because I'm really comfortable.
Oh, okay. You gonna help Mommy cook?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna put the pan on medium high. And then just put... The fridge froze these a little bit, so it's going to take a little bit longer. But I'm going to put the ground beef into the pot. I don't know if I'll be able to fit it all. I'm just going to be able to fit 2 of the 3. I still have this one left over that I need to do. And just brown it up. I'm going to use my handy mix and chop. I've had this forever. It's from Pampered Chef. I actually used to be a Pampered Chef consultant. Not anymore, though. Still a little bit frozen from the fridge, but you use it and you just kind of break up the meat. You don't have to use this, but you can use whatever and break it up so that it can brown up. So by the way, I forgot to add that if you like mushrooms in your stroganoff, then you can add, I think it's an 8-ounce can of mushrooms into this. We don't like mushrooms, so we just skip that part altogether. Okay, so at this point, it's starting to get browned. Just gonna let this brown all the way. Still got a little bit of red in it. It's all broken up though, so I switched to using a wooden spatula. And once it's brown all the way, I'm gonna drain some of the fat out of this and get the rest of the meat in so that I can brown that up. And then I'm gonna add, I cut up 4 onions. This isn't all of it, this is about half of it, so this is like 2 onions. I cut up 4 onions and then I process them because Matt likes them really, really, really little. It's almost like a paste. So it's gonna be 4 onions I'm gonna put in with the meat. And then I use this because I just don't like cutting up garlic. Half a teaspoon of this equals 1 clove of garlic, so I'm going to put 2 teaspoons of this in. And then I'm going to saute it all until the onions and the garlic cook up a little. Alright, so now that all the meat is browned up, I'm going to put 4 onions. There's a tiny little bit of fat from the meat left in here, so I don't have to put any oil or anything in. And now for the 4 cloves of garlic, I'm going to put 2 teaspoons of the garlic in a bottle like I showed you before. Doesn't have to obviously be completely accurate. And just saute it just a little bit. And then I'm going to add the meat back in. Alright, this has been sauteing for about 2 or 3 minutes, so now I'm going to add the beef in. This is how I drain the meat. It's the easiest way. I just use a colander. Add this back in. And mix it all together. Alright, so this is done. I let it go for about 5 minutes just to mingle the onions and the garlic with beef. So now we're going to add this to the crock pot. We're going to add 2 cups of beef broth, stock, consomme, whatever the heck you want to call it. All the same to me. I'm sure it probably isn't all the same, but it is to me. I already measured it out. 6 tablespoons of tomato paste. Half a teaspoon of pepper. And 3 teaspoons of salt. This is the last one I'm adding. And then you just mix it all together. So this is what it looks like all mixed up. And I'm going to put it on high for 3 to 4 hours or until it's done. Matt gets home around between 5 and 6, so I put it on high just in case. It probably would have been okay on low, but right around when he gets home, I will add the sour cream and the flour to the part that we're actually going to eat tonight. And I'll boil up the pasta, add the pasta, and then the rest of it, I'll probably cut it in 4, freeze 3/4 of it, and then eat 1/4 of it tonight. Here is what it looks like. It is now 6 o'clock, so it's been cooking like 5.5 hours on high. No, you can't stir for me, but you can watch, okay? It's been cooking for like 5 hours. I'm going to take 3/4 of this out, and I'm going to put the sour cream and flour in. I already have water up for the elbow noodles. Alright, I'm going to put a tablespoon of flour, roughly. And then I'm going to put about 1/4 that the recipe calls for sour cream. Stir it all in. And then I'm going to let this just sit and cook while we wait for the pasta to boil up. We just put the elbow macaroni in. It's almost a full pound. I actually left some out for the kids. And then you just stir it in. Let it heat through for a couple minutes. And then serve.